So now that we have that kicked off, let's welcome up to the stage, please, Braincube's Chief Executive Officer, Laurent Laporte. I learned early in my time at Braincube, I've only been here 6 months, but Laurent is proficient with the guitar. So expect a little bit of that rock and roll flair in his keynote address. So please welcome to the stage, Laurent.
Good morning. By the way, it's French music, you know, Phoenix from Versailles. So yeah, good music, French. Yeah. Coming here, I was thinking about our mission. You know, somewhere in your plants, in the plants of your customer, something is changing. The condition is changing. Maybe they receive a new raw material this morning, or they have a new operator, the weather is different, something's changing. And there is nothing really alarming. Everybody accepts this. And yet this condition have changed, so the right way to drive the process should have been adjusted. When conditions change, performance must adapt. This is a mission of Braincube. And here we're here to stop to lose all this opportunity we have every day. I think every one of you understand this. The question is, how do we make that happen? How much millions could be saved every day in this country by just adapting to changing conditions? But I came here with a question that I want to share my thought about this. The why we have is all different industries that you know, different continents, different problems. That's where we live in. But if you are here, we probably share one common thing, is that good enough is not just good enough. That's the point, right? And so the information system that we have been building for years and years is vital for our enterprise, right? And what we see today in the landscape of IT is the arrival of new technology, particularly AI. And I believe that we need to understand what will be the impact of all this technology, and particularly AI, on the information system. I believe that the information system will change more in the next 5 years than it changed the last 30 years. For this last 40 years, 30 years, whatever, we have built an information system that is capturing what happens. It's supportive, it's helped us to organize ourselves, but at the end of the day, it's a giant memory. We want to be some smart plants, and we created plants full of souvenirs, in fact. With one idea, which was with all the souvenirs, we will be able to process them and to make some prediction. Do we really need prediction? What do we do with prediction? And let me give you an example of this. I was discussing with one of my customers in Europe, and they were excited about leveraging their historical information to predict one of the main problems they have. They manufacture paper, and they have breaks during the manufacturing, breaks of the paper, which is a loss of time, and they have to restart the machine. And they told me, we've been spending a certain amount of time to build a predictor of breaks. Say, okay, what do you do with that? Said, okay, let's assume the system tells me you will have a break in 2 hours, within 2 hours. Okay, what do you do? First case scenario, you do nothing, you get a break. Okay, so you build something that predicts something that happened, but you didn't save anything, right? Or you do nothing and you don't have a break. So your prediction is wrong. Okay. Or what people will do, they will try to get rid of this brake. So what they will do? They will touch everything on the machine. And there are two outcomes. They touch everything, there is no brakes. Are they the hero? Do they know what they have done? Or they touch everything and there is a brake, and in fact, they created the brake. So having a prediction is not what we need. In fact, today what we need is to act in real time. That's what we should expect from our information system. A perfect memory is not understanding. It's not because we recorded what happened that we really understand what we did, right? So the point is that, are we capable of changing this? Are we capable of transforming this into understanding and use this understanding live? Acting in the present is really the whole game for us, because conditions change and we must adapt. The AI will come in our information system. Who is using today generative AI in his information system? Who's using it already? Like, yeah, almost everybody. Who has implemented a Gen AI as a corporate Gen AI that everybody is required to use, like a Copilot Plus or a Claude, whatever? We see everybody is doing that, right? But in fact, for me, you have two kinds of AI. Yes, this generative AI that is doing what it's supposed to do. I mean, generate something. This will change the way we use the information we have. Means if we want to visualize something, today we need to build a dashboard, so we need to buy a tool, invest in integration, and buy a dashboard. That today what we can do is directly ask the system to do it for you, right? Auditing, reporting, things like this. But there are some needs that are not covered by the generation. Generation is leveraging probability to give you an answer. And when we talk about optimization, like optimizing your production schedule, which is complex, or what Braincube is doing, optimizing the condition of production in real time, the generation doesn't work. You need a system you can trust. We see customers trying to build models with generation, and they receive recommendation. The system is telling them to do something, but they don't use it. Why they don't use the recommendation? Because they don't understand how it has been calculated. So they don't trust it. Might make some sense, might not be bad. Is it good? Is it perfect? Is it the most optimized? When we start to use the Braincube RTPO, it's an optimizer. Yes, we use machine learning, but we can explain any one of the recommendation we do. When we say, this moment you should consider to do this and this, and the customers say why, we can dig into it and we can explain, it's coming from learnings we had from your situation in the past and everything. So then you start to apply it. And the ambition is, how do we make sure that these recommendations are the best of the best all the time? So generation sounds right. Speak well, tell you things, sometimes tells you what you want to read. But it's not what we need for process optimization. Because we need something that is true for your process on your own data. If we take the risk, for example, to open our Gen AI to all the machines that look like our machines, we might have a response that is not corresponding to our own situation. So I will call this AI the expert AI. So you have the generative AI and the expert AI, right? And the why we are expert, but all the Braincube users know that. What we know is how we can rank live what's going on really. So we push Braincube. We're transforming Braincube. It means you know, for a long time, Braincube has been one of the most interesting way to solve problem, because we're capable of identifying which parameter was impactful in your performance. But today, what we can do is we push it to the next level. We are transforming the system into an agentic AI, and what we want to do is we want to survey the process condition. And if one condition, one or more condition, is changing for the bad, we want to trigger an optimization calculation to give you what is the best next step, the best next action you should take to try to never lose any performance. We're doing it live now. We call it real-time process optimization. And this is how I feel the information system of companies will change. Everybody will invest in a corporate LLM. It becomes a new backbone. This system will be linked to all the system we have. Some system will disappear because this will be able to replace and automate. And some other system will do their mission. From your data, the expert system will run the mission, and our expert system, all the expert system, will have their own Gen AI embedded, as we have. We have a Gen AI named Companion AI. And this Companion AI is discussing with the corporate LLM. So what does it mean? It means two things. First, with this technology, we make the usage of Braincube super easy. Instead of opening a feature and being trained on using this feature, like I want to make a graph, now, for the one that knows, you can just ask Braincube to do it for you. So it makes it easy, right? But the second thing it's doing, and is very impressive, is also responding to the corporate LLM. So it's becoming a resource into the new information system. Imagine you have an ERP connected to your corporate LLM. You have an MES connected to your corporate LLM. You have optimization system. You can start to ask this corporate LLM very complex question. And this system will open discussions with the expert system and makes his magic of combining all this and giving you a smart answer based on true information from the expert system. Like if you want to, you have multiple lines, and you want to rank them in the world of the most energy efficient lines. It's just a problem of measuring the local consumption of energy, or is it smarter to look at the consumption of energy, but also at the local cost of energy? And you probably need a system like Braincube to tell you how much we consume, when, what are the different scenarios, but you might need a procurement system or an ERP system that tells you how much costs the energy locally. And so the answer is not easy. Today it would be a project. You would send some people to try to collect information. Very soon, with this architecture, you just ask the question to the system, and you get an answer. What we do today with RTPO, the expert system of Braincube, is a total way of changing what we used to call continuous improvement. Continuous improvement means we dedicate resources to open projects with the hope that we will find things we can implement that gave us some savings. For process control, when you have the right conditions, now this can be done live by an expert system. And we'll get into the detail of this during these days. We'll make demos and things. The best user of Braincube today might be our LLM, our GenAI inside the system. Why is saying the best? Because he makes no mistakes when you use it. He's not doing any interpretation. He's not trying to find what he wants to find. When I was using Braincube sometimes, I had an idea. I wanted to prove my point. The GenAI is not doing that. He's giving you the true answer. So it's super easy to use, but it's always true, according to what we have. Does it replace your experts? You know, the big question is, what are the consequences of this? You know, industry has always been to do more with less. So there will have consequences on our teams. But if you have a real expert that has a chance to be connected to all his equipment and has a chance to use expert system to help me to understand what's going on, I think it makes him a better expert. And you need to have a supervision to make sure that what is implemented is going in the right direction. So we amplify the experts. Today, it's all about this. It's not about just visualizing, understanding. It's about adapting, and adapting real time. That's what we offer today. That's what we're here to prove. That's what we will discuss, show you. We started to implement this in many of our customers. We need good instrumentation. We need to have the right memory. So we need some systems. That's why we have partners here that help us to close the loop and close the gap on this. But this is now existing. And if you want to build the information system of the future, you need to think that this expert system should absolutely be connected to a backbone, a Copilot Plus, a Claude, a ChatGPT, and then you enter in a new generation of information system. Thank you.